pretty unkillable after a while and did make a lot of plays for them. So pretty good first pickup over on BKT side. HFL though with that Irelia Leona, I guess Shin just going to try to be more of a hard carry this time rather than play champions like that Hecarim.
Yeah, and will be that LeBlanc locked in for King of War. The assassin right now rather strong this patch. Of course, only one of the few assassins rather that was not too hampered by the removal of Death Fire Grasp. In fact, may have made her stronger. Some may say arguably. I like the composition coming from Hanoi Full List right now. They have a good amount of engage and pick potential coming from the Leona as well as LeBlanc. And if you can get that Aurelia rolling, you can get her to split push and force fights that are very favorable to you. Hanoi Fulu is definitely drafting a much smarter and conservative composition now.
Yeah, but this composition over on the side for BKT is also going to be pretty scary. Looking at that Maokai, the Janna, and that Jarvan, they're going to have a lot of CC potential as well as disengage.
Yeah, and with that Graves pickup denied away from Lloyd, I don't think he's going to be too upset about that. He got caught quite a few times previously in lane trying to farm up, and we'll see what he has to default to. In the second rotation, Corki, of course, one of the favorites in the GPL, still despite the recent changes and power nerfs to this champion. Valen, however, did manage to get his Janna in the second rotation. I think that's going to be very good for the team as a whole because a lot of the players got comfort champions. Warlock, of course, Maokai, 7X to the Jarvan, and Valen with his with the Janna, excuse me. So at least the whole team, 3 of them got really good champions for them.
Yeah, just...
Oh.
Ooh, are we going to see a Zed into LeBlanc this game?
It is G4 though.
Yeah, he is very good at that
boy.
Zed. Usually Zed has been consistently banned out against G4 just because he's such a good mid laner and he's especially known for that Zed.
I'm so excited. Even our observer himself is kind of quaking his chair saying, I'm so excited to see G4 Zed, and this is the guy who's it's quite comparable to say that he is the Bjergsen of Southeast Asia when he gets to play Zed. Find solo kills so simply, and against this LeBlanc, I think King of War may have to give a bit more respect than he normally would to other Zed players. Maybe have to even itemize the early Seeker's arm guard to not get soloed out.
Yeah, especially because King of War, over on the side of HFL, isn't actually just a mid main. He also plays support as well as mid as well as jungle, whereas
this
G4
guy is
just solo mid star. It's going to be a bit hard for King of War.
Yeah, SFM himself picking up the Udyr in the jungle, and of course we are playing on 5.5, the tournament realm, updated now. Tank junglers are the new in thing if you aren't keeping up with the trends. Of course, Udyr rather tanky in the late game. If you can get that Cinderhawk enchantment, it ups your clear time by quite a bit, and you can get to the point where Aurelia as well as Udyr can just split push off the sides, and this Leona and LeBlanc can stay in the mid lane to kind of put a lot of pressure down.
Yeah, I really like how we're in the times where Udyr is back in competitive play. We do see that Udyr
QG kind of just, rubbing his hands. Yeah, we're gonna go for this guy.
Did you catch that? I think SKT game last week when they debuted their new jungler Tom,
oh,
and his very first game he played Udyr. He wrecked everyone, and then he got MVP.
Yeah, so SFM. I mean, well, he is top 40 challenger in Korea, so maybe meeting him in the solo queue kind of perspective and seeing how strong that Udyr is, bringing it over to the GPL. Hopefully finding some more success with his team here. His previous game on Sejuani, not as good as I would have imagined. Of course, we are onto Summoner's Rift, guys. BKT on the blue side, and on the red side, it will be Hanoi Full Lewis, the latter, looking to pick up the tie at least and save some pride for the region. 4 points, not looking too bad compared to the 3 that they have now.
So it looks like both teams just going to go for that traditional level 1 fan. No team really choosing to go for that lane swap or for that invade right now.
I'll be rather partial to HFL pulling the lane swap here because Violet can 1v1 Warlock pretty well, and if you have Starfall roaming around, it takes a lot of the pressure off King of War, and you can get early ganks down to G4 just taunting away at LeBlanc.
Yeah, definitely. Generally, the lane with the Corki would try to lane swap in most games.
Surprising that the Graves onto Violet, that whole lane as a duo did not pick up Ignite, which is something you normally see with the Graves Leona lane, that Ignite for kill potential very early on, especially against someone like a Janna. If you can find that level 2 power spike and go all in on her, you can actually find a kill pretty simply, but HFL going with the more conservative route, picking up exhaust to deal with G4. So giving a lot of respect as a team, not just a laner alone, but as a team to this Z pickup.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it does seem that HFL is choosing to really respect that G4Z and having their Leona pick up that exhaust. And it looks like there's going to be another pause right now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a HFL game without a pause, guys. But with that, I think Violet is just going to reconnect. And, you know, some things never change. Some things are always certain. Dev, Texas, and HFL never always loading on time. So hopefully we can get that fixed for you guys. Of course, playing across regions, a bit iffy at certain points where, you know, the internet tends to get dropped and multiple teams have to coordinate which server is the best for us to play on. The latency might be an issue as well. So once that gets fixed all up and dandy, we'll hit it over back into game. Which side do you favor now with the compositions being shaped up as they are? With BKT with a bit more of comfort champion picks and HFL going a bit more aggro in this sense.
Yeah, I feel that HFL is really kind of feeling the pressure over on this game. I mean, after all, they did pick up that Irelia and the LeBlanc. They're going to be really focused on just trying to find that picks, having that Udyr go down for sudden ganks over in mid and top and try and get the Irelia or the LeBlanc to carry.
Yeah, that's a lot of CC on command in the top lane if Shin as well as SFM try to gank out Warlock. If Warlock wants to harass Shin, he's going to be shoving up the lane with Arcane Smash, and that's the window the SFM wants to make use of. Run in with the bear stance, get the stun down onto Warlock.
Oh, Warlock seems to have done that cute trick over with Maokai. Right now we've seen a bunch of Maokai top laners do that, where they leave a couple of saplings over in one of the jungle camps and get a bit of experience just before they walk into the
So
lane.
he wants the early level 2, which is what you generally want against Irelia. Don't want to get bullied out too strong. I don't want to get bullied out by him early on.
Yeah, the Irelia does have those power spikes that she hits. So it's going to be kind of important for Warlock to try to hit that level 2 first, as you can see.
There you go, level 2. As you mentioned, Shin playing on the back foot quite a bit for now. We saw previously when he walked to the lane, used the Equilibrium Strike to get some damage down, but knows he can't really play too much. As he hits level 2, decides to go back on the aggression. So Shin knowing the limits of this lane, and early on, the damage being put down by King of War into G4. 7 next sitting there. Once the distortion is popped, this is go time for King of War. Oh, 7 next coming in. Flag and drag forces the flash. And like I mentioned, distortion used. That's when Jarvan goes in for the gank. We're going to make a return visit very soon, I believe. And SFM in the jungle getting taken very low by the red buff, but Smite will keep him topped up. This is where he finished up his first clear. Recalls for perhaps even the Stalker's Trailblazer or the Chilling Smite upgrade. Hopes to find some ganks.
Yeah, it's really a smart move over on the side of 007, choosing to camp that mid lane. You see the Zed just a bit down on CS compared to the LeBlanc, so 007 just going to want to stay in mid and make sure that G4 can carry.
Warlock is being such a force in the top lane, trading so well against Shin and forcing him to pop his flask to recover some health. Of course, no visits yet by either junglers in the top lane.
Yeah, Shin not going to have that much trouble sustaining in lane though, because he did start with that Crystalline Flash just to keep him topped up a bit over in lane, whereas Warlock did start with the Doran's Ring for more.
Oh, the Ignite down to G4. He has to flash away the flash from King of War. Not available. The Ignite back onto the flank and drag. Well connected. It is first blood going over to G4 by just a bit. One more auto attack from King of War may have taken him down, but G4 baiting out so well. King of War there took the bait and he was the fish on hook for G4 himself.
I agree, that was really good bait over on the side of G4 to get him that first blood.
Oh, Shin getting taken very low. No mana from Warlock, so not going to pursue anymore. But if Shin wants to stay around, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. So if I'm flashing in for the stun there, 007 next behind enemy lines here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Shin has to flash away from Warlock. Warlock flashes into the brush, but does not find the Aurelia. Both out of mana. Shin might find the Blade Surge rather soon, but both top laners just backing up. Teleport available, so they could reset and go at it once again. But for now, it is a stalemate between the tree and the warrior lady.
Yeah, Shin and Warlock just choosing to go full YOLO Q right there over in the top bush. Both burning their flash, but no kills for either side.
You talk about YOLO Q where SOFM in the mid lane flashed in to get a stun. That is true YOLO Q right there. Top 40 challenger. Bring it over into the GPL, boys. This is SOFM himself.
Oh, right now is SOFM going to survive this wolf camp?
Oh, he gets it.
Phoenix OP.
No broken shard today. Let's get the wolf camp without any... Well, I say without any trouble. He got some trouble there.
quite a bit of trouble. He just nearly died over to the wolves.
Great Howling Gale to disengage against Starfall, who is now in enemy lines. Lloyd and Valen putting back a lot of damage, and it is sticking pretty hard. Of course, only one potion left for Starfall in his pocket. Paragons will keep them topped up, so
yeah, the bottom side just going pretty even right now. I mean, with the Corki and the Graves, both AD carries with not as far range, but right now that 007 just going to be camping over in this river brush, waiting for a gank.
yeah, he is waiting for someone to walk in or waiting for Starfall to overcommit, but may have played it too conservatively there, sitting in the brush, not really knowing where HFL is at the point in time now. Will be backing off as we do see the recalls coming in from HFL themselves. SOFM once again just farming up a Storm 33 as compared to the 15 that 7X has. SOFM coming in the mid lane, the chains might connect from G4 here, uses the death mark to avoid that, and will be the return distortion away. SOFM in a lot of trouble now, getting taken very low. The slows onto 7X stick, and the G4 pickup will come in. Shin jumps onto Warlock, and once again this wet noodle fight in the top lane, really going heavily in the favor of HFL.
Yeah, Warlock was kind of at a bit of a disadvantage right there, because after he backed, he did have to pick up that double Doran's Ring, which isn't going to build into any items in the future, whereas Irelia went back, bought that Ruby Crystal, which, as you saw in that fight earlier, did help her stay alive and pick up that kill over in top lane.
Yeah, and it was the Build Order Cutlass in the mid lane that allowed G4 to pick up the kill. Double distortion onto G4 by King of War.
7 minutes in, and G4 is already up 2 kills.
Yeah, up 2 kills. This is where it gets rather scary, because there's no reply from HFL besides the Udyr, and he has to start farming up because he has died once as well. If SOFM gets to the point where he builds a good amount of armor, he could very well do out the Z and find himself in a good position. Pinkwall will be spotted out by the Udyr at his blue buff, and 7X just hovering around the side together with Valen. It is Starfall who will provide some support here.
Yeah, I have to say though, BKT just choosing to sacrifice a bit of the farm on 007. As you can see right now, he's 19 jungle creeps compared to the Udyr with 40, but with that 2 assists, does have some gold, but most of his focus has been on trying to get G4 rolling.
Yeah, good catch there. Violet just managing to quick draw away, and 7X gets spotted out by Starfall. The flag and drag not connecting the slow. Will it stick onto the Leona? Starfall manages to run away with a shield of his own. And it's Warlock who's taking a lot of damage in the top lane. Shin pops the Transcendent Blades. Will he get the Blade Search? He does not get the reset though. The stun will be up relatively soon. Warlock has to run away. Vengeful Maelstrom is being used at this point to reduce the damage coming in. And once again, Shin shoving out Warlock in the top lane. We were saying how this lane was going so well for the Maokai. Well, it looks like it's just turned on its head as SFM tries to find a blue buff, but will not look for anything here.
Yeah, I feel it was a bit overconfident over on the side of Warlock. Earlier he didn't actually have a ward over there and had no idea if the Udyr is going to come.
Oh, King of War barely survives, and the heal keeping him topped up now. G4 might be looking to get the Shuriken. Oh, the flash! The misplay there, the micro coming in from King of War. He went in too close and watched the Shadow Slash that managed to pick him up. Now Shin as well as SOFM going in onto Warlock here. The Maokai in a lot of trouble. Vengeful Maelstrom used to mitigate the damage. The tanking being done by both teams here. They're microing it so well. Warlock might get taken down here, and so will SOFM is the return kill on the Udyr. Both teams rather good micro, but it was HFL that went under the turret and stayed too long.
Yeah, a bit greedy of a move over on the side of HFL right there. You see Shin also got really low during that tower dive and going to get caught out by 007 right now.
Goomba Storm will pick up Shin there, overextending without any support from his falls immediately over to the side of 7X, who for all intents and purposes 1-0-2 now, rather big for his team. Violet and Star4 just gonna recall, pick up the next set of items at 67 CS compared to 75 of Lloyd. They're falling behind ever so slightly, whereas the Phage on the Corki helping him bully out this lane very well.
Yeah, but we do see King of War just roaming down towards the river. Things could
the
get
teleport
dangerous.
here. Shin coming in with the teleport from the back, has the flash available. Will he be able to locate Lloyd as well as Valen? The dragon is available, so they won't necessarily waste this teleport, but with the recall coming from Star4, I think that was a bit miscommunicated across the board by HFL.
Yeah, I think Shin probably thought that Violet was going to recall right there, and they probably needed an extra person in bot just because he saw King of War roaming down, trying to get gank onto Lloyd.
King of War gets chunked out to about 3/4 of his health. G4 starting to ramp out now. 3-0 and 0. Blade of the Ranking, first item, not even picking up boots or anything of the like, knowing that once he gets the death mark onto King of War with the Blade of the Ranking, it's an instant pickup for him, and that's the threat of the Z that you normally ban away from BKT. HFL not showing enough respect to G4 here.
Yeah, this Z is going to be a really big problem right now. He's already 30 CS ahead of that LeBlanc. The LeBlanc also had to go back and buy that double endurance rings, whereas as you did mention, Zed already has Blade of the Rune King. He is going to be a beast.
And speaking of beast, 007X caught behind enemy lines by the beast Udyr. G4 comes to provide some support but has to back off with the shadow. 3 members around HFL might be looking to collapse onto this, but Valen shows up for some moral support. Doesn't even get the last hit on the ward as they're gonna put down one of his own, and once again Warlock getting jumped again by Shin. And this should be the call by BKT to get someone up here and counter gank this Aurelia, who's been moving so aggressively forward. He doesn't have enough vision in the jungle as well to be this aggressive. Someone should be punishing this play.
Yeah, but the problem right now for BKT though is that if they send someone, if they do send 007 up top to try and help this Maokai, what they'll be doing is probably going to give Dragon over to the side of HFL, because if HFL sees that the Jarvan is on the top side, that will probably have all of them rotate down towards mid and secure that Dragon.
And not to mention, it is an Udyr who can take down dragons relatively quickly.
Yeah, I think what BKT is choosing to do instead is to just let Warlock stay in top and try to farm as safe as he can.
G4 making the roams up now, was spotted by the ward in the pixel brush along the river. Backing off right here. Aurelia a bit pressured under her own turret, but G4 will not find anything there as they do collapse onto King of War and Starfall. The Flanking Strike not connecting onto anyone at all. Starfall with the Solar Flare will try to get the stun onto G4, but it is G4 who has the Flash Shadow Slash into the pickup for himself. Deathmark was not used at all. He's particularly saving that for LeBlanc. He says your name is on that ultimate and I want to pick you up.
Yeah, G4 just going on a rampage.
Oh, Violet might find the kill onto Lloyd here. One more auto attack. Has to flash away. The rockets not being used at all. Have to say a bit of a miss micro there coming in from Corky. Lloyd not picking up the kill. And Warlock once again fighting it out with Shin. The stun goes down. Vengeful Maelstrom might be able to put a lot of damage back onto this Aurelia. Can't underestimate the damage coming in from Maokai. Finally, both teams backing off after so much action going down. Let's take stock of the situation. Talk me through what or how this has impacted the state of the game.
Okay, so BKT.
Oh, hold on, Lloyd getting caught out. When we say the action's done, it is never truly done. Lloyd might be looking to go down here. The Solar Flare, excuse me, the Xenoblade not connecting in. It is SOFM once again flash stun, but not finding the kill here.
Yeah, not much Starfall could do in that situation either to try and save SOFM.
Okay, I think now we can safely say the action is done. So,
okay.
Shin, please don't. Okay, the action looks. Oh my goodness, King of War, you're gonna get popped right here. Not enough damage to finish him off though. G4 has the shadow, might be able to juke over to it, but doesn't find the kill there. Shoves him off, gets a good amount of damage onto the turret. Of course, Blade of the Ruined King. The attack speed gonna help him out greatly as King of War moves forward very aggressively. Not respecting G4 there, not too sure what he was doing. Dangerous game will keep G4 alive there.
And G4 just barely survives through the last ticks of that Ignite. King of War, I mean, if you look at his build, he's down 0-3 and he's also down about 40 CS right now. And his first buy was that Seeker's Arm Guard to try and mitigate that damage coming in from Zed and from that Blade of the Rune King, which kind of means that LeBlanc isn't going to do too much damage.
Yeah, Warlock teleporting into the fight, and once again, Violet getting caught out. 0-1 and 0-1. I say once again, it's been like the whole day. Graves has not had a good time. The lack of gap closers not really helping him out as well. And Dragon here for BKT looks to be their pickup without any contest. HFL not in the region to even spot this out. No vision on the Dragon means no timers. And BKT here secure the objective for themselves.
Yeah, they're going to... HFL is going to know that BKT just did the Dragon though. I mean, it's pretty much a given once your AD carry goes down that the other team is going to take that Dragon. I haven't been too fond of Violet's play lately. I mean, on this Graves this game and on the Corki on the previous game, his positioning just hasn't been on point.
Yeah, a bit lackluster in terms of where he's standing in these fights and just the laning in general. Violet falling short of what the team needs.
Yeah, and BKT just going to take the Scuttle Crab just for that extra vision right now. If you look at the ward coverage over on the minimap, just lots of wards, deep wards coming in on the side of BKT.
Yeah, what I like about BKT's composition is you have a great physical damage threat in the form of Zed, but you also have the magic damage coming from Maokai and Corki, and that's very hard to itemize against if you're HFL. You could see they're building armor, but very soon when he finishes up his Sorcerer's Boots, Lloyd is going to start hitting like a truck, and Warlock with the Rod of Ages, not going for the Righteous Glory this game, will be hitting really hard as well, because the AP from Rod of Ages is going to stack up soon.
Yeah, Warlock just choosing to go for that Rod of Ages just because this game he is leaning against that Irelia, and that sustain is going to be pretty important to try and survive through the laning against that Irelia.
G4 making the roam down to bot lane, forces Violet away, but then again Lloyd has a rather relatively easy time dealing with this Graves, so perhaps not the best call to call the Zed down to the bot lane. Blue buff will go over to Warlock, which will allow him to sustain pretty much forever against this Irelia.
Yeah, the blue buff going to be really good for Warlock just so he can get those extra saplings down. But we see right now the item builds over on the sides of the AD carry. Corki has already completed his Triforce, whereas Graves still just with that BF sword and that axe.
Yeah, SOFM gets spotted out trying to dive this turret, and I don't think HFL are going to be able to secure it for themselves. Lloyd with the wave clear, too strong, Phosphorus bomb into the missile barrage, clearing it all out, and W7X coming in for the support here. Violet getting chunked quite a bit by that Phage Empowered auto attack and the Eye of the Storm from Janna.
Yeah, they did manage to chunk that bottom turret down really low though, which is a good thing for HFL right now. At 17 minutes in, game still pretty even, just one turret over on both sides, gold difference just 2,000 gold, despite the kills being 9-2.
SOFM starting to scale up very heavily in terms of CS, almost hitting double of his counterpart, but the issue here is without the Devourer enchantment, he's not going to be dealing a lot of auto attack damage. Instead, it is the presence of him in a team fight that will be dealing damage with the Cinderhawk. And now Shin gonna get collapsed on by G4 as well as Warlock, but they don't really see this coming. Don't think they could go for this. Shin just backs off after clearing the wave, and W7X up now in the top lane to join the party. BKT just deciding to back off without any vision of this Irelia.
Yeah, Shin is really going to start getting scary pretty soon. She already has that Triforce completed, and we've seen for Irelia's kit, usually most Irelias just need to finish that Trinity Force and then can continue building tank items, and they'll still be putting out a lot of damage.
This is the scary thing about HFL's composition. If you can get the split push Irelia going, and with the Udyr as well, you could out split push a Zed, which is rather strange to say, but really effective nonetheless.
Yeah, King of War finally has backed and picked up that needlessly large rod, so now just about 500 gold away from that Janya's Hourglass, which is going to help him a lot just to survive through that Zed ultimate.
And this is something we see from the other teams as well in the GPL. In Cities Gaming Legends for one, when they pick up the Leona into LeBlanc, they chain the Solar Flare into the Distortion QR really well, and helps them just take out members from the fight really quickly. If that's something they could do to Lloyd, then it should be very easy for them to win fights. Of course, sometimes it's easier to say it than to actually carry it out. Execution is a totally different story, as the jungle's being contested right here by BKT.
Yeah, King of War tried to roam down towards bot, trying to gank that bottom lane, but good response over from the side of BKT to send G4 and 007 bot 2.
Warlock in the top lane, Shin in the top lane, freezing the wave out, forcing Warlock to rotate around the map to the mid lane and apply some pressure. Of course, the jungler being boarded out by BKT will mean the collapse onto King of War and SOFM. The flash was used by Udyr to run away though, and those are two very important spells. That's a very important spell being used by Udyr to run away. SOFM not really having the best of games here, 1-3 and 0, but meanwhile on the top lane, the split push from Shin is good and is connecting. Speaking of connecting, Starfall finds his Zenith Blade but doesn't really want to be there. Gets taken very low, and the back flank coming in, it is Jarvan as well as Maokai. This is all of BKT's game plan right here. They get the double kill straight onto Lloyd, and they trade it for the turret, or do they? Because the teleport is coming in from Warlock. Can he shove Shin off of this? Is King of War rotating around the back here with SOFM. They might collapse onto Warlock here. The chains will connect onto Warlock. He has to flash away, but it is sticking onto him. Double distortion will be able to pick him up with the ignite, and Shin finds the kill, and this is the turret going down for HFL. But meanwhile, the bot lane, they did pick up a turret of their own. G4 coming in to provide some support. King of War moving forward. The chains connecting onto G4. 007X tries to get the flag and drag, but distortion back will keep King of War safe. Across the board now, 3,000 gold to hit BKT. The turrets all even and square.
Yeah, it's still a pretty even game right now. As we mentioned, the Maokai with the Rod of Ages isn't going to be as tanky because he did choose to go for that sustain instead. But if you look over on the side of HFL, because their LeBlanc doesn't have as much damage either and isn't quite able to burst down that Maokai, things are still pretty even.
They need to use 3 or 4 members HFL to even get a good team fight going in. I don't know how this is going to work out for them at this red buff as SOFM runs in, tries to ward off 007X, but looks to be the collapse coming from the rest of the team. 007X has to run away, and the front line is Lloyd as well as 007X collapsing onto King of War. Solar Flare will keep them occupied for only a moment, and Vale just running forward with the support of G4. SOFM wants to turn this around, but looks like the Zed will have the upper hand in health as well as the regeneration that he needs. He's turning out to Vale, and will he find the kill? He gets one though. So it is 2 kills over on the side of HFL and 1 kill over for BKT, and the turret going down in the bot lane here. Violet left completely unchecked, will be getting his push on.
Yeah, a bit of a greedy chase over there, over on the side of Valen, just to help out G4.
Yeah, hold on, King of War getting collapsed in the mid lane. So much skirmishing going on, and King of War has to run away. Jukes back to the distortion, but one more rocket will pick him up, as well as the auto attack from Lloyd. Here, Starfall getting taken mighty low, has to run away. It is the double kill from Lloyd, and this Corki pick has been working out so well for them. 5-1 and 2. The pushing power is so strong, and so is the artillery coming from the back lines.
Yeah, I agree that Valkyrie over by Lloyd into that red buff pit just now really did help them win that team fight and secure red buff.
Yeah, Shin jumping into 007X, but may have bitten off more than he can chew here. The collapse from the rest of his team is coming down. SOFM walking or running down rather slowly, but 007X manages to flag and drag away. Shin getting taken very low. Warlock here might turn the fight around. Shin trying to kite this out with the equilibrium strike, but Warlock buying some time for 007X to go into the fight. 007X has to run away. It's Starfall that gets collapsed on here together with his team. SOFM getting taken very low. Oh, not Starfall, excuse me. SOFM that gets collapsed on by his team. Death Mark will be popped, and there you go. 8-0 and 1 for the Z now.
Not quite the best engage over on the side of HFL to have SOFM go in with that Chilling Smite, I think.
King of War gets a bit sneaky there, tries to get the chains down to G4, but flashed away. 6,000 gold lead being taken by BKT, once again extended by the Thailand side.
Yeah, I really like this Last Whisper second item pickup over on the side of Corki, just because both Irelia and Udyr have purchased that Frozen Heart. But this Corki, 5-1 and 2, having such a good game, Lloyd this time, does have a bit of extra gold to spare.
Now let's not neglect to mention the fact that Corki does a good amount of true damage in his auto attack. Starfall might have to flash over out of the Cataclysm. 007X looking a bit silly there, not catching anyone in the pit with him. Violet and Starfall have to back off. 007X still wants more flag and drag available in just a moment, but Dragon here being turned on by the Bangkok Titans themselves. Warlock tanking majority of the damage with Void auto attacking in the mid lane. The collapse by Shin onto the turret, but G4 warding that away pretty handily.
Yeah, not much that HFL really could do to contest that Dragon earlier.
Especially the fact that BKT is so far ahead and they have all the vision in the world. Just the whole jungle, blue side of the jungle by HFL being warded out by BKT here. Off the side, Shin might look to find the engage onto G4. He's alone or so at HFL thinks, because off the side, Lloyd and 007X are waiting to provide some support. Valen as well, with the Monsoon ever ready to disengage. In the bot lane, Warlock just shoving the wave out really hard, and Violet has to respond to clear it out. They have a man advantage here. Will they be collapsing onto Shin? Deathmark pops onto Shin, a lot of damage going down, no cleanse or anything of the like will mean that he falls immediately to G4, and he's legendary at this point. The solo kill coming through for G4. You had to ban out the Z, you have to give him more respect at this point. If he finds you, you're just dead meat for him.
Yeah, things getting a bit ridiculous right now. G4 is 9-0 and almost double the CS ahead of his the other LeBlanc.
I wonder if we could see the goal difference between the Z and the LeBlanc, because it should be pretty astronomical at this point in time. 11.8 thousand to 6.6 thousand. That is a 5,000 goal lead that G4 has picked up in the mid lane alone. If you look at the score, the goal count between both teams, that is a good amount, at least half of the goal lead that BKT has.
Yeah, and if you're going to talk about goal differentials, I mean, if you do want the goal to go on someone on BKT, it's definitely going to be on G4.
Yeah,
on the
I mean, we were talking about how if Irelia gets to at PowerPoint, maybe she could split push against the Z, but
I mean, you just saw how that Z completely blew up Shin over in that river right now. Things really not looking good for HFL.
HFL starting to falter a bit, falling behind ever so slightly more and more as each minute passes. G4 might be looking to get the death mark onto Starfall. HFL just showing so much respect now, have to back off. The pink port is spotted out by W7X. Wonder if they'll put some damage down. King of War has the distortion available, deciding better against it now. SOFM in the mid lane, looking to find or get found out by Lloyd. They engage straight onto him though. A lot of armor but not paying any returns here. G4 uses the shadow. W7X with the Cataclysm locks him up, and with the team behind him, Valen coming in as well for their support and moral support it is. The team picks up a kill on the form of SOFM. Now Baron is available for BKT with the jungler down and 2 members in the bot side. I have to feel like this is Baron for BKT.
Yeah, definitely. Shin though, just trying to camp a teleport coming in over back into the top side, but we see BKT just didn't think of doing the Baron right there, choosing instead to go back into their own jungle.
Yeah, very good play by Shin there to juke around the jungle, teleporting out and baiting the attention of BKT, who have for all intents and purposes gotten more out of that pickup on SOFM. G4 trying to kill Violet a bit, but not really finding it. W7X being able to do out Shin here. Very bad sign for HFL. The Cataclysm not available just yet, but here comes Valen as well as Lloyd. The Solar Flare square onto 2 members of BKT. That was slowly engaged by in the backline. Warlock comes in, knocks Shin back. The flag and drag once again. SOFM is the one in trouble now. Deathmark available for G4. Starfall, Violet as well as King of War collapsing. Distortion forward, not finding anyone, and the knockup onto Violet is good though. This is the siege coming from BKT. Violet uses the Colero damage to clear the wave out, but King of War in the backline tries to find a pickup onto W7X. The Ignite may take him down. Uses the Monsoon by Valen to get healed up, and this is why BKT is such a good composition when they run Zed as well as Janna together.
Yeah, I really agree with what you just said. I mean, look at the item builds.
There goes Violet. Starfall will be the next one to fall here in the backline. Warlock, just a movable tanking object. SOFM might fall soon after. Double kill straight onto them by Lloyd. No triple. Scumbag G4 takes away the triple kill. And the turret, the inhibitor turret as well, is gonna fall. HFL looking rather distraught in this game. And off the back, tries to find a kill onto W7X, but King of War pays for his sins there.
Yeah, with the item, Warlock did choose to buy Banner of Command, and that Corki did pick up that Bloodthirster, so it's really going to help out BKT to siege.
At 0-5 and 1, I'm changing LeBlanc's name to Peasant of War because he's not doing much killing this game, and honestly just a very low impact LeBlanc in this best of 2, second game in the best of 2, excuse me.
Caster BM.
I'm calling it like I see it because they did not give enough respect to G4, and he started snowballing so hard after that early pickup. 11-0 and 4 now.
Yeah, especially HFL did try to give as much chances
for
King of War by making Starfall take that exhaust and having that King of War keep that ignite just for that extra kill pressure, but things still didn't quite work out for King of War this game.
BKT have the inhibitor down in the mid lane, so that's gonna be a constant stream of super minions coming in and pressuring HFL out. Shin gonna get spotted out by G4 flashes, or excuse me, Blade Surge onto him, but will not get the equilibrium strike. Warlock now as the front line, he's so tanky with the Frozen Heart, or excuse me, with the Banner of Command and the Rod of Ages. G4 pops the Youmuu's Ghost Blade, tries to go in for assassination. Might he find Shin here, uses the Deathmark, jukes back and buys a lot of time for his team to collapse. K4 sitting off the side, Double 7X has the flag and drag, will find 2 with the flash and the cataclysm. So well played there, Double 7X still in the front, G4 flashes forward, just chunks out Violet, so much damage. K4 has to pop the Zhonya's to stall time, and he will be taken out by G4 himself. One more auto attack from Lloyd will pick up Starfall, and this is the sweep here by BKT. No members did at all, and they take out 3 for free. HFL looking to get closed out on by BKT here. 2-0, very imminent from the Thailand side, excuse me.
Yeah, this game is right now 27-5. It's ridiculous that the 12-0 and 5 has pretty much been a G4 show this entire time. 30 minutes in, and this Nexus is going to go down, and it's going to be GG for BKT.
Yeah, GG for BKT 2-0, very simply going over to them now. Sitting pretty, they had 8 points before, now they have 11 points. Just sitting at the top of the table, completely untouched. The only one that could actually potentially chase them, we'll see actually tomorrow when they do play, or at least Saturday, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday, as you guys know, isn't actually usually a GPL match day. We usually play on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
And Sundays.
And Sunday. But because of the postponement, we did have that match today. So you'll see more GPL tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Looking at these, schedule for tomorrow will be the Saigon Derby. Once again, Saigon Jokers going up against SF5 in a best of 2, and then Assist Fate going up against Insiders Gaming Legends. Of course, guys, do ignore the timings because the games will be played at the same time. The best of 2s. 2 best of 2s will be played at the same time because they are rather crucial to who goes into the playoffs. So to avoid any match fixing or anything of the like, you know, any complications, we will be playing them at the same time at 6 p.m.
Yeah, just to make it fair for both matchups, it will be at the same time.
Of course,
tomorrow.
you know, when sister teams play, things tend to get a bit tricky, so we want to make sure we can have it all fair and square for all the teams playing, and I think that's going to be it for us today, guys. Of course, only one best of 2 today, as the postponement did come through. So on behalf of the casters, OB, and the production crew, we would like to thank you for watching the GPL, and you know, do stay tuned for tomorrow as we have a whole another day of GPL action for you. But for now, guys, we're gonna see you in a bit.